miles robot, bumping and clicking and reversing. It was programmed, she supposed, like one of those Japanese vacuum cleaners, to keep bumping until the job was done. Odile had said it would be collecting data with an onboard GPS unit. Hollis guessed it was. She sat up, a very high thread count sliding to her thighs. Outside, wind found her windows from a new angle. They thrummed scarily. Any very pronounced weather here worried her. It got written up, she knew, in the next day's papers, like some lesser species of earthquake. 15 minutes of rain, and the lower reaches of the Beverly Center pancaked. House-sized boulders coasted majestically down hillsides into busy intersections. She'd been here for that, once. She got out of bed and crossed to the window, hoping she wouldn't step on the robot. She fumbled for the cord that opened the heavy white drapes. 6 floors below, she saw the palms along Sunset thrashing, like dancers miming the final throes of some sci-fi plague. 3:10 on a Wednesday morning, and this wind seemed to have the strip utterly deserted. "Don't think," she advised herself. "Don't check your email. Get up and go into the bathroom." 15 minutes later, having done the best she could with all that had never been quite right, she descended to the lobby in a Philippe Stark elevator, determined to pay its particulars as little attention as possible. She'd once read an article about Stark that said the designer owned an oyster farm where only perfectly square oysters were grown in specially fabricated steel frames. The door slid open on an expanse of pale wood. The platonic ideal of a small oriental carpet was projected across part of this from somewhere overhead. Stylized squiggles of light, recalling slightly less stylized squiggles of dyed wool. Originally intended, she remembered having been told, to avoid offending Allah. She crossed this quickly, heading for the entrance doors. As she opened one of these, into the weird moving warmth of the wind, a Mondrian security man was looking at her, one ear Bluetoothed beneath the shaven cliff of a military haircut. He asked her something, but it was swallowed by a sudden downdrafting gust. "No," she said, assuming he'd asked if she wanted her car brought up, not that she had one, or if she wanted a cab. There was a cab, she saw, the driver reclining behind the wheel, possibly asleep, dreaming perhaps of the fields of Azerbaijan. She passed it, a weird exuberance rising in her, as the wind, so wild and strangely random, surged along Sunset from the direction of Tower Records, like the backdraft from something straining for takeoff. She thought she heard the security man call to her, but then her Adidas found actual unstyled Sunset sidewalk, a pointillist abstract in blackened chewing gum. The monster open-door statuary of the Mondrian was behind her now, and she was zipping up her hoodie. Heading, it felt, not so much in the direction of the Standard, as simply outward bound. The air was full of the dry and stinging detritus of the palms. "You are," she told herself, "crazy." But that seemed, for the moment, abundantly okay, even though she knew that this was not a salubrious stretch for any woman, particularly alone. Nor for any pedestrian, this time of the morning. Yet this weather, this moment of anomalous LA climate, seemed to have swept any usual sense of threat aside. The street was as empty as that moment in the film, just prior to Godzilla's first footfall. Palms straining, the very air shuddering, and Hollis, now hooded blackly, striding determinedly on. Sheets of newspaper and handouts from clubs tumbled past her ankles. A police car whizzed past, headed in the direction of Tower. Its driver, slumped resolutely behind the wheel, paid her no attention. To serve, she remembered, and protect.